Welcome to the Vegas Insider channel here on YouTube as we look ahead to the big heavyweight title in Saudi Arabia coming up this Saturday. Kevin Rogers with you, and you see Sergio Mora. He's been around the boxing game a long time. He's with DAZN now. And Sergio, good to have you here. This is fight number 2 between Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk. And Usyk won the first time. And the second time around, we'll see if Joshua can get revenge. But going back to that first fight between them, what did you pick up from what Usyk did and how Joshua can overcome that the second time?
Well, a lot of people in the business will tell you that it's going to be hard for Joshua to make the adjustments to beat a master boxer like Usyk. We saw in the first fight, Joshua was clueless. He didn't really know whether to be aggressor or whether to cut off the ring or whether to fight like a big man. He was just lost in there, and it showed. He almost got stopped in that fight. The later it got, it was just discouragement. You saw flashes of that Andy Ruiz fight towards the end. He brought in a new trainer in Robert Garcia. He has a new mentality, that killer dog mentality, and he's going to need it. He's going to need it because this isn't going to be a physical fight. It's going to be a mental warfare, and Anthony Joshua has suffered in that department. So I don't know if Robert Garcia is going to be able to bring out that animalistic mentality or whether Joshua has it. But we know that Usyk, he definitely has it up here and he has it everywhere else. Brilliant boxer.
Now, going back to Joshua for a second, Sergio, it's been almost a year since that fight. What has he been doing to prepare himself for the second time around?
Well, he needs to fight. He needs to fight Usyk. He can't try to outbox Usyk. Usyk is a cruiserweight coming up to heavyweight. He's a southpaw. He's a gold medalist. He's everything that Joshua was. Joshua was a gold medalist, but he's a physical fighter. He's a power puncher. He's not gifted athletically like Usyk is. So that's exactly what Joshua's going to need to do. Be someone that he's never been. Fight athletically, fight with speed, and have that dog mentality in the later rounds when the power is not going to be enough. Speed and game plan and toughness is what AJ is going to need for 12 rounds. Because he's not going to knock out Usyk. This is going to go the entire distance. It's going to be 36 minutes of fighting that he's going to have to do.
Now, Sergio, what about Usyk? 19-0 in his career. And again, he's on top of the heavyweight division right now. What does he have to do to make sure that he does not have a slip up here, that he can't go 20-0?
Be himself, as cliche as it sounds. Usyk is a heavyweight version of Vasily Lomachenko. These are 2 pound-for-pound greats. I mean, they're Ukrainian rock stars, and it's unbelievable what they do with their feet, not their hands. Their hands are the second most beautiful thing to watch. It's their mentality, their feet, and they're just strategists. They're master chess players, and they just discourage opponents by boxing the hell out of them, beating them from angles, not letting them catch up, not letting them get in the fight, and a fighter beats himself. So they're just brilliant. They've been doing it from the amateurs all the way to the pros, and they've been able to make that transition, perfectly, and that's very difficult to do.
Where do you think the heavyweight division is right now, in your opinion, Sergio? Or do you think it's right now? I mean, we don't want to say it's at its peak, but where do you put the heavyweight division now to where it's been the last 20-something years?
You can't put it in the same category as 20 or 30 years ago. Boxing seems to shoot itself in the foot every time we have something huge coming up. Everyone was salivating. I mean, everybody, the world would have stopped for an Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury fight. Both of them were undefeated. Both of them were on top of the world. But Deontay Wilder decided to exercise his rematch clause, as he should have. But he belt blocked. That's what I called it. He belt blocked the biggest fight in boxing, and we never got it. We never got to see a undisputed, undefeated champion and 2 of the biggest, boxers in the world. So, yeah, I mean, boxing just continues to, disappoint on that level. The promoters, can't get themselves out of the way. The networks can't seem to, play friendly with each other. And then finally, the boxers don't step up and say, I want this fight next. I'm taking this fight next. I'm going to give the fans what they want. They refuse to do that either. So it's just not in the place that it was 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Now, the fight on Saturday in Saudi Arabia, Sergio, Usyk is minus $2 favorite here against Anthony Joshua. Would you lay the $2 with Usyk, or would you take the shot with Joshua at around plus 160, plus 165?
No, I would still stick with Usyk. You know, anytime I have a brilliant boxer and a brilliant puncher, I'm always going to side with the boxer because they have more tools in their toolbox. You know, when the puncher just has a hammer, you know, the boxer has a hammer, a measuring tape, he has a screwdriver, he has a lot more tools. So I'm always going to go with the boxer. I'll take Usyk 2-1.
And let's have this one too. 11 rounds, over under 11 rounds.
That one is where the money's going to be. I believe the aggression that Joshua's going to have to implement to win this fight is going to play into Usyk's hands. So I actually like Usyk by stoppage. We saw glimpses of that towards the end of that fight. I think this time around, Usyk might be able to close the show. It's going to be around that 10th, 11th round, but I think he'll be able to do it.
And finally, Sergio, not involved with this fight, but any thoughts after these two guys fight? Would Tyson Fury be involved again to maybe take on one of these guys in the future or not?
You know, if it's Usyk, I would think Tyson Fury would do the smart thing and retire, you know, because you don't need that headache. You don't need Usyk style, that southpaw style. You just don't need it. So retire with all the money in the world, unblemished, undefeated, on top of the heavyweight championship rankings and go off into the sunset. So yes, I think if Usyk wins, Tyson Fury retires. If Joshua wins, then I think we see more of Fury.
Sergio Mora, he has been around the boxing world. He's boxed. He's a commentator on DAZN, and a lot of great information from Sergio. The big heavyweight title this Saturday in Saudi Arabia. And we'll see if Anthony Joshua can get some revenge on Oleksandr Usyk. We'll see if that's the case. Sergio, thanks so much for the time. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it, Kevin. Take care.
All right. That is Sergio Mora. I am Kevin Rogers. Thanks a lot for watching. And as always, best of luck with your bets.